social media is not real life. It's not real. Like, most people aren't happy all the time. And I think the issue is that um, most people post about the best things, like getting a new car, a new job, getting married, when you lose weight. Like, it's all posting the best things. But it's a false narrative because it's not showing the full picture. And I think in a time right now, especially where like most people are struggling, trying to figure out just who they are, what their next step is, like just figuring out this whole quarantine COVID thing that's continuing to go on. I think it's just really important to be reminded that like what we see online, what we see in our screens is not real life. No one is happy all the time. Even the hyper elite or the rich, they're not just like living some perfect fantasy and never struggle. Like I remember when I was working at a golf course. It was like a multi-million dollar golf course where it's like you had CEOs, business owners, I mean, people who own like NBA leagues, things of that nature, like really, really rich people. And they were actually some of the most depressed, angry, upset people I've ever met. I mean, some of them, they would just like get drunk at the bar every single night. Some of them didn't want to go home and be with their family or their kids. Like some of them just they wouldn't get along with their spouses, like just really unhappy people. And I mean, the people I worked with, the servers, they were happier than a lot of the rich people that I was serving actually at that establishment. And it just to me, it was such a reminder of just like this fantasy that is sold to us from a young age, whether you're a young girl and you see like Disney Princess or you see, you watch The Real Housewives or even like the Bridgertons, where everything is opulent and luxurious and they're living in these big, beautiful homes and have all this money in the world. And they kind of paint this narrative where it's like life is almost perfect. I'm just like, first of all, most people don't live like that. Even if they do, that doesn't necessarily make them happy. And again, in a time where many people are struggling, most people don't have a couple $1 million in the bank. Most people are trying to figure out what their next step is. I think it's really important to know that just because you maybe don't have it all, whether you do or you don't, like what you have is not what validates you. That's not what makes you valuable. And I think it's really important that we don't compare our lives to what we see on the screen just because what we see on the screen is not real. It's not real life. People aren't posting their entire life. Hollywood is selling stories that makes money, but they aren't necessarily selling what is real. And so if you've made it this far in the video, first of all, I just want to thank you. And second of all, I want to encourage you that your life is more than just what you have in the bank. And whether it does or does not compare to what you see on the screen, know that like what you have does not validate you. Your life is no more or no less valuable just because you have $1 million. I think we have to live beyond that and recognize that like what we accumulate is not what makes us happy. And if that was the case, the richest of the rich, you would never have Hollywood people committing suicide because they were depressed. You would never, you know, you would see the richest people being the happiest, and that's just not the case. That's not the case. So, anyways, I hope this makes sense, means something to you. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to leave your response in the comment section. I may actually write about this a little bit more. And thank you just for listening, and I hope to talk soon.